All praises to Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahweh Shai, Ba'Shem Rakakwadash. Double honors to the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone, and Shalom to the elect of the nation of Israel. And this is going to be a lesson on how the true believers of Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahweh Shai will not get their glory, will not get their validation from the outside world, man. It's going to be something that comes from within. And I was just thinking about this because there's plenty of people in this world, right, that get their sense of self-worth from this world, man. So they might be attractive, but the only way how they know that they're attractive is by other people telling them that they are, right? They can't just feel that they're attractive if no one is telling them that they are. And the main people that go through this is women, but there's also men that do this as well, and men that want to be told that they're attractive and want to feel that they're attractive in front of in the face of women, which every man really desires that anyway, right? But that's not the be all and end all of life, because most of the believers in Yahweh Shem Yahushai are not going to be some Casanovas, men that can just stand on a street corner and women come up to them giving them their number, right? That's not going to be the average believer in Yahweh Shem Yahushai's life. It's just not going to, right? It's just not, right? But I'm going to read this anyway. I'm going to read this scripture too, because this is the main place where I got this thought process from, because it's within the scriptures. Jeremiah chapter 9 and verse 23. Thus saith Yahweh, let not the wise man glory in his wisdom, neither let the mighty man glory in his might. Let not the rich man glory in his riches, but let him that glorieth glory in this, that he understandeth and knoweth me, that I am Yahweh, which exercise loving kindness, judgment, and righteousness in the earth. For indeed since I delight, saith Yahweh. And that's an internal thing, right? Believing in God is an internal thing, whereas glorying in your money is an external thing, because if you just have all that money in the bank account and nobody knows about it, right? Most of those people can't just glory in that way. They have to show the wealth, right? So then they'll need the newest car, the big house, right? The fancy clothes, right? The letting of people knowing, even if they don't buy the fancy clothes and all that stuff, they still are letting people know that they've got all that money. Because when you see these guys like Jeff Bezos, Musk, right? They don't dress nice, in my opinion, and they look like shit. Personally, they don't look like anything special, but yet people know that they have the money because it's been made public knowledge. So yet they are still able to glory in that way, to where people don't care that they look like trash. I think it was Jay-Z that said that no one's ever called a billionaire man ugly, right? No one's ever called, well, women don't ever call billionaire men ugly, and that's true. They don't, because women, more than anybody else, worships money. If any of us brothers right now became a billionaire, any woman in the past that never gave you the time of day is gonna be talking to you like trying to talk to you like like your Denzel, man. They're gonna try and talk to you like your Denzel, and you're like, hang on. Yesterday you said I would look like a Rottweiler, but today you're trying to treat me like 6'8" the great. But yesterday you was trying to come on some next thing, man, and you just see how fake this world is. You'd see how fake the glorying in the wealth, riches, and might is, because a mighty man, for example, right? Everyone loves them until they lose a fight, right? Everyone's kissing their ass, and like people was kissing Anthony Joshua's ass. And then when he started losing over in the UK, I heard people saying, "Oh, he needed knocking down a peg," but they was saying, begging it and kissing his ass before the Andy Ruiz fight, saying, "Oh yeah, he's just gonna knock that guy out easily." And then when he lost, a lot of them was happy, which shows that they secretly wanted him to lose from the beginning anyway. They never really were fans of him anyway. They really wanted him to lose from the beginning, right? They were fake as hell anyway. And that's this world. When it comes to the beauty of a woman, she can be beautiful today, but the moment she loses that beauty, all them people that was gassed up off her, doing things for her to be in her presence, they ain't gonna be running around doing that stuff for her no more. They're gonna leave her. They're gonna leave her out to dry, man. The same thing with these people with money, right? When you got all this money around and flowing out your pockets, people befriend you and be fake as hell, in the hope that you can break them off some money. You're always paying for the lunches. You're always paying for the restaurants. You're paying for the nights out, for the getaways, right? You're paying for all of those things, But the moment that it ain't hot and sexy no more to be around you, they'll be gone. Right? The mighty man thing, you can be strong and physically fit in your body. You'll be seeing women looking at you in a certain kind of way, right? And then you start losing that. You could lose that strength from many things. You just fell off, right? You get an injury in the body. You could get a major injury to where you can't exercise like that no more. You could get a major injury to where you can't even walk no more. You ain't gonna be able to exercise like that no more, right? You could get an ailment, a pestilence that causes your body to wither away, right? And now you don't look like that no more, and you're gonna see that the same people that was kissing your ass all of a sudden don't want to know no more, right? They ain't gonna be nowhere to be found. Them same fans that were all up in your grill, right? Telling you how great you are. Them people ain't gonna be nowhere to be found. Like there was one Adele, man. Yeah, it was Adele. When she was overweight, right, and a musician, she had loads of different fans. She had fans that were a lot of fat women and stuff like that. Then when she started losing the weight, like it's almost to a point now where I forgot that she was fat whenever I see her, but she used to be quite fat and obese, man. But when she lost weight, a lot of her fans turned against her, but if they were real fans and cared about her music, which that's what she is, she's a musician, then whether she's fat or not shouldn't really matter. And they should actually be happy for her being healthier. But that's not how it goes in this world. And if she was to become fat again, some of them fans would be happy because it gives them an excuse for why they're fat. It gives them an excuse for why they're out of shape, right? And that's why people hate this truth, man, because it doesn't need the validation of people in the world, man. Whereas all the other things, might, riches, and wisdom, that all requires the validation of others. Somebody that's smart and knows things, they're always going to want to tell people what they know and make sure that everyone knows how smart they are. Give me 1 second. I want to just drink some water. Yeah, the people that are wise, they're always going to want to make sure that they know and let everyone know what they know, man. Because the wisdom thing, again, is about showing off, right? But Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushai chose the worst within our nation of Israel to confound the rest of the people in our nation, man. He never chose the best. He deliberately chose the worst. So if you're a person that's a believer of Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushai, not to be in an offensive way, but really your level is going to be decreased as you start learning and more and more about Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushai. When you look outwardly to the people in the world, in a carnal sense, they're going to look or have better stats than you in a carnal sense, man. Which don't really mean nothing because we're coming to the end of this thing anyway. But yet still, these people are going to seem like they've got more than you in this world when really they ain't got nothing anyway. But it's going to seem as though they have though. 1 Corinthians chapter 1 and verse 25, because the foolishness of God is wiser than men, and the weakness of God is stronger than men. For you see your calling, brethren, how that not many wise after the flesh, not many mighty, not many noble are called. But God hath chosen the foolish things of the world to confound the wise. So that means us, the people that believe in Yahweh Hashem Yahushai. He chose the people that look foolish, man. We don't just have bare people wanting to be in our presence when we're walking on the street. Some people might that are believers, right? Because it says not many, right? Not many. God hath chosen the foolish things of the world to confound the wise. Wait, verse 26. Not many wise after the flesh, not many mighty, not many noble are called. So some are, but most aren't. Right? So when this world don't like you and you don't seem to fit in this world really, right, really, it's actually a good thing, to be honest with you. It's actually a good thing that these people don't like you. It's almost like a validation from Yahweh Hashem Yahushai that you're doing the right thing, because if these people do like you, when you're not even trying to do things to be disliked, it's almost like it's a blessing, man. It's a good thing, right? Because if everyone in the world loves you and they're wicked, what does that say about you? What does that say about you then, man? Yahweh Shai wouldn't have been loved by this society, so why do you think you're going to be? And I'm saying that to myself first, man. Verse 26, for you see your calling, brethren, how that not many wise after the flesh, not many mighty, not many noble according in this world anyway. A lot of the people that would be viewed as being good people and that, they're really not. Like, for example, today, I seen some mom pushing her buggy, right? But then when I seen that she was in them Lululemon yoga pants and the yoga pants are all curved up herself, all wrapped around her cheeks, and I'm thinking to myself, this woman's out today really seeking attention. Because why would a mom that's a good woman be out with her baby and by herself alone without her man, right? Why is she gonna be outside showing herself like that? But this world would try and make, oh, that's a good mom and oh, she's so beautiful, she's so attractive, but really that's a woman that's not a good person. Because why is she carrying herself like that? Why would they be carrying themselves like that, man? But this is a hypocritical society anyway, man. This isn't really a place where you'd want to be liked. Yeah, this society that Esau's made, man, it's so proud that even low level people, like even low level people in this world are arrogant, man. And you'll have like homeless people that have got an attitude, and the scriptures is clear. It goes into how that one of the things that Yahweh hates is a poor man that is proud. But this world, this society, it produces like arrogant people that think that there's something when really they're not. And that's one of the things that Yahweh says in the scriptures, man. Like a person that's nothing can thinks that there's something deceiveth themselves. And there's many people that think that there's something in this world, but let's get this. Because the great humbling's coming, man. 2 Ezra chapter 15 and verse 14. Woe to the world and them that dwell therein, for the sword and the destruction draweth nigh, and one people shall stand up to fight against another, and swords in their hands, for there shall be sedition above bed, and invading one another. They shall not regard their kings nor princes, and the course of their actions shall stand in their power. And right now, though, like a lot of people are arrogant, they got attitude, right? But all it would really take is one or two chaotic events in this world for them to have their whole life switched out, man. Like when the lockdown came, how many of these people could be arrogant because it needed the external world's validation for their arrogance. They needed like to be able to go out to the club to try and show everyone their might. For the men, their might would be their physical strength. For the women, their might would be their physical beauty, right? For the men, how handsome they think they are. For the women, how beautiful they are. How they think they are. The men needed the external world to show their wealth. Money don't mean anything if you can't just go over here, you want to go and spend it, and it's just stored away in your bank account. It don't mean anything there. Like even the people that are heavy into being frugal and spending their money, not spending their money, that's ultimately for a purpose at the end of it, right? For them to make a big purchase at the end, right? It's not just to store it up continually and never use it, otherwise it's pointless. Money done that with is just pointless, man. There's absolutely no point in just keep storing up money forever and never planning to spend it. There'd be a point of spending it at the end of it, right? It would be saved with the end goal of being to spend it eventually. Verse 17, a man shall desire to go into a city and shall not be able. But I want to read verse 16 again. For there shall be sedition among men, and invading one another. They shall not regard their kings nor princes, and the course of their actions shall stand in their power. And if people ain't regarding their kings or princes, that also means they're not going to be regarding the status quo of this world where it's women and children first, right? Where, a man in a suit gets treated better than everybody else. Or a man that looks homeless can't get treated as good as a man in a suit. No, that's going to end. And I've seen the whole thing with when you're in a suit, you get treated better versus when you're just in normal clothes. Or if you're carrying yourself and you're showing that you've got some kind of physical strength, you might wear a vest and then your arm is showing and all that, and then you see how people treat you differently. It's fake, man. This world's fake. When you're dressing in nicer clothes and walk outside, you get treated a certain way. Like women know for certain that when they wear makeup and pretend that their face is more attractive than it is, because that's what they're doing. They're pretending that their face is more attractive than it actually is. They know that they're going to get treated better And that's why they'll carry themselves out like that. Or they'll dress like a harlot, showing their breasts when they're outside, showing their legs, right? Showing themselves off, trying to show off their ass because they know that they're gonna get treated better in this society than if they cover up. And that's why they'll complain about men lusting after them and catcalling them and all of this stuff. But the answer to fix that is to just cover up. And then men ain't going to be catcalling nothing. Cover up and wear the ancient style of covering up your head, covering up your hair, covering up your face even, and go outside. But they don't want to do that because they want the attention. They just want the attention from who they want it from. They don't want it to be the people that are going to give attention based on what they want to do. They want to think they can live in a world where only the people that they like give them attention, which is not realistic, man. This is not realistic. Verse 17, a man shall desire to go into a city and shall not be able. So if you're a person that's sold out to this society, which a lot of people have did, they're sold out. They might work in a certain company and they throw all their colleagues under the bus to get that promotion, right? They're competing like some Hunger Games to try and win and be the best of the best and like be the person that's like the head colleague, the head employee of a certain company. Your goal of doing that is to be able to gallivant and go around and see things in this world. It's not so that you can just stay in your house. And that lockdown showed that, man. It showed that these people, like, as arrogant as they try and make out like they are, and as rebellious as they try and make out like they are, when it comes to God, when it comes to Esau society, these people are slaves, man. These people are zombie slaves. So many of these people took that C19er, right? That C19. So many of these people took that, and many of them are not around no more. Many of them's lives have never been the same. Many of them got crazy side effects, and they took that when there was nothing even wrong with them. They didn't have no health problems. So how much more when that implant comes, that is going to be the reason why you can or cannot purchase items in this society. It's going to actually have a financial use. The C119 didn't have a financial use, but this is going to have a financial use, man. And you really think these people, these everyday people that you see, are going to not take it? You think that these attractive women that you see walking down the street, that just think that everyone's their personal fans, you think they ain't going to take it? What? Of course they're going to. These women that try and manipulate their men to do this and do that, you think they ain't going to take it? Of course they're going to. Like, these people don't have no integrity. They already proved they don't have no integrity. In 2019 to around 2023, they proved it. Verse 19, a man shall have no pity upon his neighbour, but shall destroy their houses with the sword and spoil their goods because of the lack of bread and for great tribulation. So all this fake civilized stuff that these people claim to have now, where they try and look at the people that believe in God like we're uncivilized because we want the ancient ways to come back. But they're so civilized because everyone can do whatever they want to do, right? Where's the being civilized in that? How can you think you're civilized if you're just saying everyone should be able to just do whatever they want to do, as if people don't have evil thoughts in their mind? That is not civilized. A civilized person would say everyone should do the right thing, and that's what we're saying. We're saying that we want to live in a society where everyone is trying to do and is doing, or is either doing or trying to do the right thing, right? Always, forever, continually. And that's a society that we're going to get because the Israelites are going to have the new covenant where they keep all of God's laws perfectly, right? And then the heathen nations are going to be under the guidance of the Israelites, made to keep the laws and be rebuked and judged for not keeping them. But this society right now is not civilized, and it's going to be exposed when the government starts crashing this society where food is scarce, right? Where water is scarce, where lawlessness can happen and no one's going to receive judgment. Because right now, some people contain how evil they are because they know if they do what they want to do, they're going to jail. But when the time comes where people are going to be able to do the evil in their mind, you think they're going to not do it? You think they're going to not? There was one weird old Jake, man, that he knew he was a so-called friend of DJ Academics, right? And when the lockdowns came, right, this weirdo was going around just following women and even little girls, man. women and little girls, he was just following them around in stores, taking pictures of them, being a weirdo. Just following them around, being weird. I think he might have even did worse things than that, man. He was being a weirdo, right? But that was because he thought he could get away with it, because the times had came to where he thought that it was a time of lawlessness, but it wasn't though, because he got caught and found out, right? But when he thought that it was the complete time of lawlessness, look at the things he was doing. And that's just one example. But when it really occurs where people really think they can just get away with whatever they want to do, you're going to see the facade of them being good people go. Because these people are not even good now. You might have somebody that works in a store and they were stealing from their workplace, right? You might have people that work in restaurants. They're spitting in customers' food because they didn't like the way the customer spoke to them, or they're ignoring customers. They're rude. You know what I mean? You might have people that work in customer service. They're rude. They're disrespectful. But then when they go out and they want to receive customer service, they want to be treated fairly, right? All these people are hypocrites, man. But you're going to see the facade of these people and how fake they try and go on, like they're so fake nice, and they try and out nice everyone else to try and seem like they're genuine people. You're going to see all of that exposed, that they're not that. You're going to see exposed that these people are not nice people, they're not good people, and that they're actually scumbags, man. You're going to see all of that facade of this world torn down, right? You're going to see the facade of this world torn down, man. And the truth of how evil these people are is really going to be shown. And the fact that these people need to be ruled over by us is going to be shown, man. Everyone tries to make it like this, like so-called black people are so uncivilized, right? But you're going to see when this so-called football game happens today, right? If they lose, just wait, watch how you're going to hear these people speaking. And if they win, watch how uncivilized you're going to see these people going on. They ain't civilized. They're losing their mind over a sport that they can't even play. They can't even play it. You know what I mean? They can't even do 20 kick-ups, man. Now, I ain't even trying to say I can. But they can't even do 20 kick-ups and they're trying to talk about some professional shit as if they could do anything themselves. Could they even run a mile without getting tired? Could they even run a mile with getting tired? But they want to run their mouth when they got some fat gut, right? Some fat gut slipping out. Like, it's just disgusting, man. Like this hypocritical place where you got these arrogant people that walk around like they think there's something and they're not though. They got all this arrogance and you're like, well, you're actually not what you think you are. And the times to come are going to show this, man. The times to come are going to show that these people are not what they think they are. And I'm in the video there. Like, we as people that believe in God, we don't need external validation from the world, man. We get our validation from within ourselves, through the belief and the hope that we have in Yahweh Shem Yahshai. So really, we don't get it from ourselves. And I guess you could say we get it externally, but it's from Yahweh though, right? It's not from ourselves. And we don't need the external world to validate us because Yahweh is going to validate it, right? Whereas these people, although they boast in themselves, they still need the external world to validate what they're trying to boast in, man. It doesn't work otherwise. How does a man know that he's strong if he hasn't got nothing inside the world to compare it to? He'll have to compare his strength to other men's strength in the world. How does a woman know that she's beautiful if she's not comparing her beauty to other people in the world? They need something to compare it to, man. And it breeds a society that you've got like this where everyone's arrogant, from the lowest of the people, right, to the highest. The homeless people in the society, they're arrogant and proud, man, right? That they'll be complaining that they ain't got nowhere to live and all that, but they've been given a few different places to live, and then they was dirty as hell in there. They didn't treat the place with no respect. They was smoking inside of it when he got told no smoking. They was treating the place like crap, right? Leaving all kind of stains in their place that they live in, that breaking windows, breaking this, breaking that, and then they're complaining that some immigrant gets a place, but they're actually hygienic more than you. So that's the reason why the place that's for the immigrants might not look as dirty as the place for homeless UK citizens. But they don't want to consider that though. They don't want to consider that a UK homeless person is dirtier and more unhygienic than a foreigner immigrant. You know, the foreigner immigrant actually enjoys having a bath or a shower. The UK one thinks that that's a waste of water or something like that. You know what I mean? They don't brush their teeth, they don't wash their ass. You know, they're just dirty. They stink. And that's not to say that the other heathens don't stink, but Esau's a real tramp, man. He real grimy, but he thinks he's the most civilized man of all, but it's not the truth, man. But I just wanted to do this video on how the believers of God don't need external validation from this world, man. We don't need it. And Yahweh's going to make it be a thing where we don't seek it anyway. Shalom to the elect.